People jump on here and then we'll get going with the updates. It's been a while. I haven't been on YouTube for a little over a month, and I need to get back on the stick. But first weekend off, so we'll explain some of what's been going on and why I haven't been uploading. It's just busy as usual. What up? So we'll get a few more people jumping on here and doing the update. It's been a long time since I've uploaded anything. Just too busy. Been crazy. We had the Astro build going on. We got Jeep going on. We got the new Civic going on. I got my new job going on. So just been slacking on the YouTube. So hopefully we can get some stuff uploaded. I have a little bit of video, but want to give you guys the update on what's coming up. We got Racewarz coming in next weekend in Sacramento. So if you want to do that, got to go online and pre-register so you can get in with your vehicle, or you can show up, and I think it's like 10 or 20 bucks to get in. Drag race event, all the good stuff. What's up, everyone? It's been a minute. Saturday morning, out here working on the vehicles. I got a lot on the list, just stuff to catch up on. I got a mirror I gotta fix, broke out of the driver's side. Got some tweeters to replace because they have taken a dump. Not their fault, my fault. You throw 160 decibels at a tweeter, silk dome tweeter, and it doesn't seem to like it too much. And then I got some other little parts, JB Weld, of course. Got some touch-up paint for Honda. Looking at ceramic coating for Honda. Got some parts to install on Honda. Got welding to do on Jeep. So a lot going on. Show you guys the back again. I don't know if you've all seen it since I flipped the amp over, but there's the back glass cover. If you'd like to get one of these for your DC amp, I am a dealer, so I can get you set up. But I think it made the back look pretty nice. A little bit of a update on that. So but the Jeep is out here. We're gonna just do some maintenance on the system so we can get it ready for Racewarz. So Racewarz is next Saturday in Sacramento at the Sacramento Raceway, I believe. Just go on Facebook, look up Racewarz. You can get pre-registered. We're doing a 1X DB drag and 1X USAC event sponsored by yours truly and Astro and Base, which is Craig's name for his van. You guys know about that build, so that got some big stuff going on. We're gonna have to update you guys on the Astro very soon. Crazy amount of progress on the build since last time I uploaded, and we just got the van wrapped. We got more power in it, and it's insane, and we're gonna definitely want to show that off after Racewarz. So we're gonna reveal it there at the show, the new wrap on the Astro, and then of course I'll have the Jeep there, and I'll be handing out some demos. Got the Civic chilling, got some stuff I gotta do with it, but love this car. This thing is freaking awesome. Needs a bath, but we did the ceramic tint, so I did like a 20% on the front, and then there's 5% in the rear. So you can see it's pretty dark. Came out really good over at Cartronics. They knocked it out of the park on that wrap, I mean that tint. And also got the tint strip up here. It's 5%. And I got my HFP decal kind of hiding up there, a little subtle. But this is the new Civic, if you guys haven't seen it. The HFP package, so that's their Honda factory performance. That's the rim, under factory performance. It's all factory. And yeah, I know my valve stem cap, they lost it at the dealership. They are checking my air and they lost the valve stem caps. And I'm like, well, what the hell? So I got a missing one, and I had a hard time finding these, so kind of bummed out that you can't even go to the dealership without them goofing something up. So I got some black ones. I'm gonna try out some little black valve stem caps. Should go with the rims pretty good. So got that. Got some stuff I'm doing under the hood. I want to get this thing tuned pretty soon, so we'll be looking at maybe K-Tuner or Honda. I don't know yet. I'm leaning towards K-Tuner, so those Honda guys out there who know about these, maybe you can give your experience. But yeah, and then we're also going to get the ceramic coating done this month. So I'm trying to protect the car. So I got a guy down the street, like 20 minutes from my house. I'm gonna drop it off over there, and they do the Ceramic Pro, and reading on it, it seems like it's a good product. So they're gonna do what they call a stage 1 detail and polish. So they're gonna go through, clay bar the car, polish the car, and then they do the coating. It's gonna be a dual stage coating. It's supposed to last like 4 or 5 years, and that includes like all the rubbers get it, and all the glass and rims, paint. So the whole car gets the detail. So it should be a lot more shiny too. So I'm looking forward to that. Make it a lot easier to clean, a lot easier to keep clean. And then the Jeep, I think I'm gonna just wax it today because I don't really care so much. It's a cheap paint job. I just try to keep it nice. As you can see, the doors getting torn up. So I mean, not a huge deal. I got new doors. I haven't gotten around to getting them done. I got to get them painted so they match. And you want to see a door, check this one out. Welds everywhere. Ugly, 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 but I couldn't weld this stuff without a torch, and I don't have a torch, so I was just zapping with my MIG welder, just trying to keep it together. This has been welded like a dozen times. And then out here, it's all split up. I don't want to weld it too much because it already looks ugly enough, and this door is on its way out, so pretty bad. It's ripped all the way up here, all this. If you go to the front half, it's ripping here, ripping here. So it's pretty awesome. Ripping here. So she's a little bit too loud for its own good. Oh, this one's nice. Ripping all the way up here. So it's all the creases in the body panels that just always rip. And then this one's pretty bad over here. That's just all the base destroying the door. So it's time for new ones. You can see that one's been patched up a few times. So yeah, getting it. But yeah, so we'll be at Racewarz. If you guys didn't know, it's in Sacramento, California, this Saturday. You gotta go on Facebook and find their event page, Racewarz Sacramento, and it's spelled with a Z on the end, not an S. So Racewarz, I guess it's one word. You go on their Facebook, and you can pre-register to get your vehicle in if you're gonna race it, or if you're gonna go do the stereo thing. It doesn't matter, but they're all doing that there this Saturday. So you guys better show up, because I'm gonna be handing out some good demos for days. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Yeah, man, hope to see you there. Get to check out the Jeep and meet you and hang out. I'm gonna be there all day. I'm gonna get my Easy Up. I think I'm gonna buy a new Easy Up because my old one's kind of on its last legs. No pun intended. Gonna swap these batteries out probably this winter. Gonna swap to lithium. So if you guys are down to see that, that's gonna happen, because this shit ain't doing it no more. They're getting old. I think I got a bad battery in there, and those, I never even pulled them out to check them. They've been in there for a long time. So So yeah, and then we want to get some DC in here. DC audio would be nice, so that's going to come this winter. So I have a couple of things. Gately Audio, or Bobby Gately, the guy who helped build the doors here. If you guys don't know him, go check him out. Gately Audio on Facebook, Instagram. I think he's on YouTube. Him and I talk a lot, and that's the inspiration for this port shape. That's his logo, because he helped do that too. Talk to him often. Bobby is a super cool guy. If you guys don't know him, please go give him a follow. Really good craftsman, as you can tell. He just knocked it out in the park on these doors. Anyway, we talk quite a bit. Like, he'll call me up or I'll call him up, and he's always like, dude, let's rebuild the Jeep. I want to do something in the Jeep. I get you guys the wood for free. We'll just knock it out. You gotta just clear the Jeep out and do it. And I don't want to, but I want to. It's terrible. Like, at this point with this build, it's gotten to where I can't get much louder without just gutting it and starting over. And that's really hard to swallow, because there's so much involved in rebuilding this, and I just got done with the van and I'm worn out. I don't want to be building anything. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna string this build out for a while. I have been for about 3 years, and now we're just gonna keep going. But I think what I can do that's simple is swap these subs to something bigger. These are awesome subs, but I need a little more. Get these batteries swapped out for lithium, you know, 200 or 300 amp hours or something, 300, so in that vicinity. And then maybe add some more amps, like just rebuild the back or something again, like just add 3 more 5Ks or something stupid, just to kind of give me a little bit more time with the build overall, because I think the box is good. It works. It's proven itself to be pretty loud and sound really good. The bracing helped. I mean, so I'm gonna just try to keep pushing it along as far as I can without having to commit to a full rebuild. And maybe it'll get louder, maybe it won't, I don't know. But I figure if I threw 30,000 watts at it, it's gotta do something. I don't know. So that's what we're thinking. I don't know when it's gonna go down, but probably this winter start just knocking things off the checklist for that, you know, lithium, subs, amps. And maybe I gotta get the alternators refreshed so that it can kind of go up in voltage for lithium, probably go to external regulators. So that's the thing. So let's look at some comments here. Same event from Fast and Furious. I don't know, actually, but they were with Carnival. If you guys know or saw the video from Carnival in the Bay Area, that was a pretty good show. They did a lot of drifting, and I think they linked up with Racewarz too. They were there. So what am I doing with the old bats? They're gonna get sold. I'm gonna check them all, because I think one's acting weird, but I mean, I can go out and play this and it acts pretty normal, but when I throw it on a charger, then the charger trips. Like, it gets towards the end of the charge and says there's an error. So I don't know exactly what's going on. I'm gonna break the bank down individually, charge the batteries, and see how they're doing, and then go ahead and sell them. Probably like $1,000 for the full bank with the bars. I don't know, if they're all in good condition. So that'll happen this winter. So you guys serious about some batteries? I don't really want to ship them, but if you're in the West Coast area, then I'm sure we can rendezvous somehow. How's your left door from the past video? Oh, I was just showing everybody that a few minutes ago before you jumped on. So yeah, she's good. Sarcasm. But yeah, that's it. Just splitting the body panels in half, like the inner and outer skins are just coming apart. And my ugly welding job, but I mean, I don't have the right welder. I only got a MIG welder. This is really thin, crappy metal, and I just sit there and tack on it until it's back together at this point, because I've let cosmetics out the window on this one. It's just pretty much at the end of its game. If I got a torch and put some time into it, maybe. But the whole reason why I fight these doors is because I want to keep them stock. I want to keep the front cab stock, and that's what I've always wanted for this build. And people tell me, man, you need to do the windshield, you need to do wood on the roof, you need to do all this crazy stuff, and that's not what I want on this build. I would buy a different vehicle if that's what I was going to do to it. This one, it's just the way I want. I like the stock. I want to be able to take out guys that have the full-on cabin builds with a stock cabin, you know, and I've done that a few times where guy has an issue with me and he's like, oh, you got a wood roof in there. I'm like, it's not wood roof, it's stock. It's just roof with a lot of dinner on it. You can't see. You can see it flexing. That's stock. You'll see in my videos it's stock. You know, and the only way it doesn't rip is because I got a stupid amount of deadener in there. Probably like 6 layers, you know, and a well-built wall. It's just, that's how I roll. These doors are stock, you know, so there's just deadener in them. You can see it flexing. So that's how I wanted it on this build. And you know, there's a lot of ways to improve. I think next go round I'll get some Vibraflex. We've been using the Vibraflex in the van. It's basically really thick sound deadener that you have to bake on with a torch and get super hot, and then it gets really hard after it cools down. And I'm thinking about just doing that in these doors next time, and it might hold them together a little better. You know, can I give them some more mass and rigidity because they're all stuck together with the deadener inside. But I mean, I have regular deadener in them right now, you know, so that's that. I mean, other things, maybe pull this dash out, fix the firewall because I got a lot of leaks out the firewall. I got enough air coming through that firewall, you could probably stick your head down in the engine bay and do a hair trick. Like, it's just blowing air out like crazy, you know. So I think aside from swapping out equipment, there's probably gains in just fixing the cab up, you know. So, because I know I got air coming out the air box somewhere up there, and I just can't figure out how to get up into it and fix it. But it holds together for stock cab. So that's what I do with that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried about changing it much, man. It's hard to keep up anymore. These guys get such big builds, and for 3 years I've had the same build and been able to pretty much keep up with everyone who's come out to competition and stuff. But just gotta do a few little things and maybe try to catch it up, you know. And it would be a real testament if I just swap subs, add some power, throw out the batteries and get the lithium, and then see a big gain maybe, and still have the same build, and just tell everybody, like, look, I've never rebuilt this thing, I just threw some equipment at it and it's still getting louder. I mean, it just keeps going. So that's my hope. I mean, I don't know when it will stop gaining. It just every time I've added power or swapped equipment, it's gotten louder. So we just got to keep trying. Yeah, this windshield doesn't break, not so far at least. This was my fault. You can see that crack there. I was reinstalling the window trim after I had it painted, and nicked the corner, and it went whoop right up there, and I tapped on it and I brought it back around out here so it wouldn't go like across the whole window. I'm still rocking the windshield, so it didn't break. But yeah, this thing's not that loud. I mean, I've also noticed the Jeeps are a little bit harder to break than other vehicles. Like, I know like Tahoes break windshields really easy, like the older style Tahoes, like the square body. I don't know, something about how they're built. I think it's more to do with like the cab shape and the size of the windshield. I mean, this is a fairly small car. It's smaller than my Honda inside, so I mean, I don't think you guys can see, but like the Honda is almost wider than the Jeep. I mean, the Honda is supposed to be a small car, but the Jeep definitely is small. And if you park this next to like trucks and stuff, you really get to know how small this thing is. And I think that helps. That makes it probably louder too, because it's a small cab. I mean, so you give demos and you get, you know, a bigger guy in here, and he's looking pretty cramped. But for me, you know, only 5'9", I fit in here pretty good, and it's always been good for me. So, But yeah, I would say that the Jeep is just better cabin geometry for that. Up to, you know, mid 60s, I haven't really seen these break, where like other vehicles will break pretty quick. Like my old Civic, I broke the windshield with my setup in it. Like people are like, how'd you break your windshield with the trunk setup? I'm like, well, I don't know. But plans for the Civic, yeah, I don't know exactly my plans yet, because I don't know how far I want to get into it, because right now I'm working on like performance and all that. But all my shoes from work, so you can see the trunk size here. So here's my boot, size 12 and a half boot versus the trunk. It's a fairly small trunk, but it has a really good size opening, so I mean I could fit pretty large items in here. So I'm hoping I'm gonna probably get with Bobby Gately at some point, but I'm thinking this thing's got stock an 8-inch infinite baffle subwoofer, and it sucks. Like it does nothing but just rattle the car. Like I just literally just turned the sub off. And then it's got some like little dinky 4-inch rear speakers. So like basically the rear stage in this car is worthless. And I'm really sad that Honda didn't put some time into like at least putting a 6.5 in here, because now I'm either forced to cut it or just ignore it and just never really put anything nice back here for components or anything. But with the 8-inch woofer, that gives me an option to vent through here if I remove the woofer, and I could build like a 4th order that vents through the top there, and I can never have to open my back seats. So I don't know. My other thing is weight. I don't want it to be heavy at all, because I like this car to be light. I mean, it's a pretty quick car, but I don't think it would like having a lot of weight in it. It's not like super fast, so any weight is gonna really be noticeable. I mean, it runs like mid 14-second quarter mile stock, which is pretty good. It's like 205 horsepower, turbo. Thing's stupid fun to drive, but any additional weight really limits how much ability to be quick and nimble that this car has. Like this car is built for like cornering and doing that stuff, and it's fairly quick straight line too, but you know, just they don't like much weight. I remember my old Civic was terrible when I put things in the back. So I'm thinking I'm gonna keep it limited to one sub, like a level 3 or a level 4 12 from DC on a 1,000-watt amp. That way I don't have to really do much of my electrical, and then I can just do like a 4th order and vent it through the top. Or I can do a ported box that like seals off the trunk a little bit, like a press fit. I think I could like press fit a nice cut piece of wood and not have to like cut or modify my interior too much. I really want to try to keep this car preserved near stock, so I'm trying not to like put screws and things. So I got some work to do on how to figure out how to mount an enclosure in here, because it's not a flat floor, and you know, I haven't really actually looked underneath this. So it looks like it's flat underneath, so that might be nice. So I might get rid of the cargo tray and be able to do something, but we don't know. So might be a single 12 on about 1,000 watts vented to that spot where the 8-inch is. And then I want to do a pair of the 4000 series audio dynamics components like I had in the old Civic, because those hands down are the best speakers I've ever heard. And I think this could really benefit, because it has their premium sound system and pretty much sucks. So gotta do something. But I don't need a lot of bass in this thing. I have a level 3 I may never use. It's brand new. Yeah, I'll probably do a custom build level 3 12, like with some upgraded parts, just so I can have the most out of a sub that doesn't weigh a lot. Let's see. Do an enclosure. Yeah, I mean, Steve Meads is super cool. That's bigger than I want to do in this car. I mean, I want to try to like limit the box to be like I can't even show you guys because my arms aren't long enough, but you know, up here, you know, so I still have my trunk space. Just keep it really compact and shallow up there. That's my hope. I just don't know how it's going to play out yet. But I'm not ready. I'm not there yet. I wanted to get the car tuned and modified a little bit. I'm not going crazy on it, but I wanted to get you know, the K tuner in here and up the boost a little bit. Start looking into maybe going with ethanol fuel. I don't know if I like ethanol, but at least do a blend of ethanol to get something better, because out in California we're stuck with 91 octane, so I can't really put more octane at this. And I've read a lot about these not liking the octane as much as they like the ethanol. So if you add a little ethanol, it's like killing two birds with one stone. You get the supposed octane, but with ethanol. I don't know how to explain it, but you guys know cars, probably know more than me, and you could explain it to yourselves. But looking at that, I already got the intake. I'm trying to do an intercooler at some point. Just kind of want to get a little bit more out of this. And then the other thing is the clutch in this car supposedly can't take much past what stock does. So I think I might be looking at doing a clutch on this thing, which is a pretty involved process looking at how this looks. And the way they design the front ends on these days, it's a lot harder than it was back when I was doing my old 6th gen. But there's your transmission. So getting that thing out involves just removing the whole undercarriage of the vehicle, like a lot of the underbody framework and everything, and then you can drop the transmission, swap it out. So that's going to happen probably like next year, once I start getting enough power out of this that the clutch starts slipping, because that's just, I guess that's the first problem that these run into when you start boosting them. But I got the intake from PRL, so if you guys are familiar with Hondas at all, or the newer ones, this is a really good brand. Really nice intake, goes down in there. But I mean, I'm just gonna keep tinkering with it. I got some stuff coming. I'm gonna be putting a full throttle battery under the hood, and we got like a machined hold down for it, and I got some other parts coming. I gotta get the strut tower brace, and I got some plastic pieces that supposed to cover up, like factory for some reason dropped the ball, and they're like, oh, we're just gonna leave this ugly looking gaping hole under your hood down into your fender, and we won't even put any plastic over there. I'm like, that's stupid. And well, it turns out that aftermarket they make trim panels that look like factory, that cover up and clean the hood up a little bit, because this is a really like messy looking engine. But this is a beast little engine, I'll tell you what. You get this thing on a cold morning, like right now, it's beast. Like I've pulled like the 6-cylinder Mustangs pretty closely. So I mean, like, I think those are what, the EcoBoost. The EcoBoost Mustang, this thing will keep up with it easily. You know, I've had 5.0s, had to work really hard to try to beat this. So, I mean, I love smashing on Mustangs. That's why I want to try to get a little more out of this. Driving this heavy thing around all the time, I can't do that. So it's pretty cool to have a little car like this, but definitely want some audio in it. Definitely want to do some stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go crazy on the car, so appreciate it, guys. It's 2 little cars, 30 years apart. This one turns 30 this year. This one's brand new. Pretty crazy. I get in the Jeep now, and I really start getting a sense of how old it really is. It is definitely an old vehicle, and it earned its respect in its own manner, but it's definitely nothing like having a brand new vehicle that's actually meant for driving, you know, and pushing a little bit. This car is definitely a lot of fun. So I don't know how much of the channel I want to like shift towards this car, because I know it's a primarily audio channel, but I mean, if you guys want to see more on the Civic that maybe isn't so audio related, you know, there's always that. I can do some video, but I'd like to keep it mostly about the Jeep, because it is about the Jeep, because it's Jeep and bass. But I know a few of you guys have been watching this whole time pretty well, and not getting a lot of viewership this morning just because I think I've been gone too long, and it's a bad thing to do to my subscribers, is not be around to upload enough. So apologize. Got motorcycles coming by. Apologize for not uploading so much. I just been busy, but we'll try to get back on the stick. You guys are going to be so excited to see Astro and Base because I got some photos of it yesterday after it got out of the wrap. It looks crazy now. We'll do like a video where like before and after what it looked like, and you guys will just be impressed. Like the wrap came out really cool. So if you're going to Racewarz, you'll get to see it in person. If not, you know, then we're gonna post it up later this week. We're gonna put some of the parts back on it and get it ready. But Astro and Base is going to Surf City in Oregon. I won't be going with the Jeep, so we're gonna miss that. But it's just gotta work. I can't make every single show this year, so there'll be no Jeep at Surf City, and it sucks. I'm like really bummed because I like that, and everybody was always really cool up there. But we will have the Astro and Base build up there. If you guys don't know what the heck I'm talking about, Astro and Base, then go through the channel and watch the videos. It's an extreme SPL build. We have 80,000 watts in it. The last video was 40,000. We've got more power, and that's why you guys should be excited, because we wrapped it, we got more power, it's louder, and it's going to Surf City. But we will have the Jeep at Racewarz. I'm taking the Jeep to Sky High Barbecue, and I will be taking it down to Mecca Finals in SoCal. So it'll be my first trip down to SoCal in a long time. So hopefully we can see some people down there that I haven't seen for a bit, if they do Mecca. And then we'll also have this at DB Drag Finals, and we don't know where that's going to be yet. I don't even know what's happening with DB Drag Finals. I'm not really competing in it with this vehicle, but we'll have the van there too, so it's going to be there. But that's what I'm doing. World Finals on the West Coast location, not the East Coast location. I'm not ready to do that. That might be next year with the van at least. We might like rent a car hauler or something and have someone bring both the Jeep and the Astro, and maybe whoever else wants to tag along out to East Coast Finals and participate with those guys, because that's always been something I wanted to do, is go out to the East Coast with this rig and do that. But now that we have a real competition build, the van, it is more worthwhile to go out there and go head to head against some guys, because we're on the road to 170 dB, and I want to get past that and actually be able to, you know, go hang out with those guys and be a part of the club of 170s. So but yeah, okay, you guys see stuff on Facebook too, so if you guys followed me on Facebook, then you see things way sooner than you see them on YouTube, because I'm on there a lot. And then of course Instagram, Jeep and Base, that's a good place to go for updates. But we're gonna try to keep up on the YouTube. I just got to get back on the ball. But this has been a pretty good long video. We got a few people watching. If you guys got any other questions, just shoot them my way right now, and then we'll end the video pretty quick here. But a lot of work doing on the Civic. I've been kind of focusing on Civic more than Jeep lately, but I blacked out. I did the vinyl wrap myself, blacked out this chrome, so it came out pretty nice. Really happy. I just need to wash it, but like it came out flawless. Nice wrap job. So I'm pretty happy that I'm getting better at doing that, because it looks way better. I mean, imagine chrome on there, it would look terrible, and it did. So, but I mean, I'm weird because I like the chrome emblems for some reason. I don't want to like cover up my chrome emblems. That's just how I am. I just don't want to go overboard and black out the car. I don't want it to look that outrageous, but it really needed to get blacked out above the window. I mean, like, why didn't Honda do that? I don't know, but so that's the front of the car. Pretty cool. Got the Type R badging. So we're gonna get it a bath today and work on it a little bit. Maybe wax the Jeep a little bit. I just washed it a few days ago, but it never finished. But yep, so if you guys want to go to a show, go to Racewarz next Saturday on the 17th. Look them up on Facebook. That's how you get the event link, and you go on there and pre-register if you'd like to go compete or have your car at the car show. Spectators, I think it's just a small fee when you get there, but go look it up. We're sponsoring it, so that's a big plus. And I'll have the Jeep out there. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Good little update. I'm gonna try to get some videos up because it's been a while. So we'll get there. But appreciate it. You guys have a good one, and see you at Racewarz.